Raider Nation, the 2021 NFL Draft is about 2 months away. It's pretty crazy, right? Now, if you're looking for more draft videos around the Las Vegas Raiders, and what I want you to do is hit that big red button underneath this video that says subscribe and turn on those notifications. That way you don't miss any videos that we're pumping out here. We keep you guys updated literally every single day, but we're getting close to draft season, so make sure you subscribe. No matter the location, from O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider. What's going on? Mitchell Renz here from the Raiders Report, and what exactly are we going to be doing on today's show? So I recently saw that Mel Kiper released his latest mock draft with some trades, and what I wanted to do is break down the selection that Mel thought the Raiders were going to do at pick number 17. Now, obviously, I'm not going to walk you through the entire mock draft because, well, you guys probably don't really care all that much about all the other picks, but if you do and you want to see all the picks and the 3 trades going down, I actually made this video on our main Chat Sports channel, and you know what? I'm actually going to make it the pinned comment on today's video. Now, you guys might find this hard to believe. I make other videos here at Chat Sports, but I do want you guys to go check out all the awesome work that I have going on our other YouTube channel, so please, it's the pinned comment. Go check out the entire mock draft picks 1 all the way to 32. Where we're going to start here is pick number 11 and try to give you a little bit more background information on who was available for the Raiders at 17 and ultimately why Mel Kiper decided to go where they did. Now, you're going to see some of these, like the Lions at 12, they made a trade. The Broncos at 15, they made a trade. And I'll be honest with you, one of the picks that I absolutely loved in this Mel Kiper mock was Caleb Farley, 15, going to the Denver Broncos. So let's now go to pick number 16 here, where J.C. Horn, he went off the board, and I'll tell you what, that would have been a prospect that I would have been pretty interested in seeing if he would have been a player that we could get into some silver and black here. At pick number 17, it's the Las Vegas Raiders. So who are the top remaining players that I really thought could be taken at pick 17? You got Gregory Rousseau, defensive end from the U, a player that I liked a lot, and actually the video that I did about 6 weeks ago, he was number 1 on my list of players that the Raiders should draft at 17. Kwity Paye, defensive end. I know John Gruden's going to absolutely love his athletic ability. Trevon Moerhig, who's the safety from TCU, the top safety in this year's draft. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, an absolute stud at linebacker, a do-it-all linebacker, if you will. Jalen Phillips, another true hand-in-the-dirt defensive end. If you're really trying to get after the quarterback, he's somebody to look into. How about Christian Barmore, defensive tackle, the number 1 DT in this year's draft class. Zaven Collins won the Best Defensive Player of the Year award out of Tulsa. Another do-it-all linebacker, if you will. Azeez Ojulari, if you're looking for somebody that can fill that Melvin Ingram style of role. Edge rusher, great pick. If your plan is to get rid of Trent Brown, Christian Darrisaw is probably the top offensive tackle available. And then Joseph Asai, linebacker. Probably built a little bit more for a 3-4, but still can really get after the quarterback. So before I let you guys know who Mel Kiper ended up giving us at pick 17, I am curious. Who would you want the Raiders to draft? So this is not just like, oh, anybody I want. No, you got to follow the mock draft. So go down in the comments section right now. Let me know, who would you want the Raiders to draft at pick 17? In Mel Kiper's latest mock draft with trades, he has the Las Vegas Raiders taking Trevon Moerhig, safety from TCU. Like I've said before, this is the best safety in the 2021 NFL draft class. Was also a player in my top players to draft at pick 17. So what I'm going to try to do here is try to stay pretty confident and try to stay positive, if you will, because if you're looking for somebody that can play in a cover 3 scheme, absolutely this guy can do it. However, the more and more film I watch on all these type of players, the more I'm starting to think it might have been a little bit of a reach. Now, does it fill a need? Yes, it absolutely does. However, Moehrig to me is starting to be more of a player that I think the Raiders could target in round 2. I don't know if he falls to pick 48, honestly, but this is one of those dudes where I've been saying if the Raiders can trade down from pick 17 and you can get a late first, early second round pick, this is where I would really, really like the value. But this video is more or less about my reaction to Mel Kiper. But let me tell you guys why Mel Kiper decided to go with Moehrig here at pick number 17. The Raiders have used 2 first-round picks on safeties twice in recent years. First, in 2014 on Karl Joseph, and then in 2019 on Johnathan Abram. Joseph didn't work out, and Abrams has played in only 14 games the past 2 seasons, but both are box safeties with limitations in coverage. Limitations might be an understatement. Moehrig is more of a fluid athlete who can play as a deep safety. He has some range. He's also not afraid to stick his head and make a tackle. Vegas could also go with an edge rusher with this pick. So what I want you guys to look at here is past 2 seasons. 2018 was a freshman. I wanted to show you what he did as a sophomore and as a junior. A lot of people are probably going to say, wow, what happened? Why can't we get the production that we saw in 2019 and 2020? I'm going to say it's really not that much of a difference here. And to be honest with you, it's 9 pass breakups. I got the numbers switched up, I'm just going to be honest. So it's 9 pass breakups, 2 interceptions in 2020, 0 forced fumbles. But at the end of the day, he is a very talented player. 2020, I think we would all agree, it's kind of a weird year. Not just for us as normal people, but also he played fewer games. I mean, it's just one of those things where he was still a great safety. You could also make the argument that his teammate, Ardarius Washington, maybe is a better value in, I don't know, maybe round 3, if you will. But I did like the pick a lot. But the show is about y'all. So grade Mel's pick here at pick number 17 of Moehrig, number 17 overall. A, B, C, D, or F. Now, what do the grades mean? I'm a tougher grader, just so y'all know. So when you guys send me your mock drafts, don't get mad if I give it a C. It's just me being honest with y'all. So A means it was great. B means it's a good pick. C, average. D, bad. F, it was failing. I'm going to give it a C grade because I think it's an average pick. What do I mean by that exactly? It fills a need. However, when you're a defense, how can I put this lightly? When your defense was as bad as what the Raiders were last year, probably the worst in franchise history, you can't just draft based on need. Sometimes you got to take the best players available, and there was a lot of other players that I thought were going to be ranked higher for me on my big board than Moehrig. Fills a need? Yes. However, some other guys that I would have taken. So this is what I tried to break down here. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, if you're looking for an do-it-all linebacker, that's the guy I would have taken. And hint, he was actually the very next pick in this mock draft. Gregor Rousseau, if you're looking just for another true edge rusher. I know some people don't like Rousseau because they're like, Mitch, watch his tape. It's not very good. Let me make this point. For him to play defensive end for the first time ever, okay, because he used to not be a defensive end and decided to give it a shot in 2019, he had 15.5 sacks, 19.5 tackles. It's pretty good. Christian Barmore, if you're looking for a defensive tackle, that's the route I would have went. And then Zaven Collins, another kind of like do-it-all linebacker here. This was my thought process. This is where I would have liked to see Mel Kiper go, but instead, he decided to go elsewhere. Now, when I break down my top safeties in 2021, I was excited that we got a player at a need. That's great and all. However, if I could say, we could get Holland or Richie Grant in round 2, I actually think those 2 players in round 2 are better value than Moehrig at pick number 17. Now, if you want somebody who can, literally do it all, a pretty cheap LaMarcus Joyner replacement, Nasir Dean, also pretty solid there. And then if you just want to absolutely roll the dice with a prospect in terms of safety play, that's Cisco, man, from Syracuse. His tape, sometimes you're like, wow, this guy is absolutely insane ball-hawking safety. And then there's other times you're like, does he know he's on the field? It's up and down. He's a fun prospect. If you could tell me I could get Cisco in round 4, I actually probably like that more than Moehrig in round 1. So here are all the Raiders' draft needs. There's a lot, right? I mean, we could make the argument that safety, defensive tackle, edge, outside linebacker. Now, I also am listing offensive guard because even though there was a report that Richie Incognito wants to come back, Gabe Jackson's owed $9.6 million. What are you going to do with him? Right tackle, I think we'd all agree, Trent Brown, he's a goner. And then I get the fact that we have Trayvon Mullen. I get the fact that there's Damon Arnett there, but you need more depth. And John Gruden and Mike Mayock all offseason have, not been very happy with Damon Arnett's work ethic. So what are your thoughts here? What's the Raiders' biggest draft need? Go down in the comments section below and let me know. So if you think it's safety, type safety. If you think it's defensive tackle, type DT. Maybe you think it's edge rusher, offensive linebacker. If you just want to type defense, hey, believe me, man, I will not get mad at you whatsoever. So the other thing that I wanted to do on today's video is say, okay, if Mel has Moehrig going to the Raiders at pick 17, that also means this, that you missed out on every single one of these free agents. That means you missed out on Justin Simmons. It means you missed out on Anthony Harris, Marcus Williams, Marcus May, John Johnson. Why do I say that? Because you don't draft Moehrig in round 1 if you went out and signed one of those other top guys. What you also better have done, that means if you missed out on every single one of those top safeties, that means you better have gotten a guy like Leonard Williams. You better have gotten a guy like Dalvin Tomlinson, J.J. Watt, I'm trying to think, Levonta David, Shaq Barrett. You need to be able to spend big on defense, because if you didn't get any of those safeties, you better have got me somebody else. Now, if you made it this far in the video, just know that I appreciate you guys. Raider Nation, I know it's family here. So if you ever want to talk more Raiders with me, if you want to give me your 2 cents on Mel Kiper's mock draft, that's what's up. And I always say my DMs are open. So seriously, ask me those questions. The other reasons why I always love people when they message me, because I get cool stuff like this. So my man, Mikey Floyd, sent me a message that was like, yo, came home from work, saw my son watching you on the TV, thought it was a really cool moment. The fact that people actually watch me on TV sometimes, and I'm going to use this in quotes, Mom, TV is a pretty mind-blowing experience, and I appreciate every single time people take time out of their day to watch it. So I promise you, I will take time out of my day to answer your DMs. So again, if you have made it this far in the video, slide in them at Mitchell Renz 365.